Hey there, this is Ruben from Dutch Round 1. Thanks again for coming by, thanks for watching another episode. As always, I appreciate your time and I appreciate your support. Today I've got some grammar for you, how to say need in Dutch. But before we do that, remember to give the like, subscribe to the channel if you want more, and let me know in the comments if this was useful for you or not. But without much further ado, let's go straight for our grammar lesson. So how will we do the grammar lesson? As usual, I will show some examples, and by means of the examples, I will explain the grammar. And today I want to start off with a mistake. And why am I starting off with a mistake? Because I want you to avoid it. It's something that I've seen with many students whom I have taught over the years, and I would like for you to avoid it. Alright, so the example is, I need shoes to play football. And then many students make this translation. Ik nodig schoenen om te voetballen. Well, nodig, if you translate it literally in Dutch, is actually necessary. So what are you saying? You say, I necessary shoes to play football. Does it make sense? So you need to find a way to translate this necessity in Dutch. And how do we do that? Well, we use the construction nodig hebben. Literally, if you translate it in bad English, it's basically to have necessary. And that would be to need. Alright, so you say, I need shoes to play football. In Dutch, that would be, ik heb schoenen nodig om te voetballen. That's our first correct translation of to need. When it's a necessity, nodig hebben would be the correct construction. We go to our second example. And sometimes need can be an obligation, as a must. Something you need, something you must, something you have to do. And in this case, we will translate it as moeten. I need to be there at 10 o'clock. Ik moet daar om 10 uur zijn. As you can see, I need to be there at 10 o'clock implies an obligation that you have to be there at 10 o'clock. So then the correct translation would be moeten. Alright? So that was our first and our second example. We'll take a look at our third example. Now, hoeven implies more like should and ought to. Bear in mind, this is not a straightforward translation between Dutch and English. There is a little bit of a difference between hoeven and should and ought to. However, they're quite close. So in order to simplify, in order to clarify this example, I would like to use these translations. All right? You don't need to wash your hair every day. So it's basically, you shouldn't wash your hair every day. You oughtn't wash your hair every day. All right? And that would be the translation then. Je hoeft jouw haar niet elke dag te wassen. All right? So you shouldn't, I know necessity is also there a little bit. You don't need to wash your hair every day. But for the sake of the argument, for the sake of the example, let's translate it as hoeven. Je hoeft jouw haar niet elke dag te wassen. You shouldn't wash your hair every day. Alright, so that's example number 3. We'll move on and we'll go and take a look at example number 4. Now basically, when need is a requirement, something which has to be done on a regular basis in order for something else to function, then you can use dienen. Dienen in Dutch has many translations. You know, it can be like to serve, it can be like this is of use for, but in this case, you know, we can translate it as need in English because, you know, it implies a requirement, right? The computer needs to be updated every week. So it's required that the computer is updated every week, otherwise it won't work, right? So then you can use the word dienen. De computer dient elke week bijgewerkt te worden. So this need implies a requirement. That is why we can use the verb dienen. However, this is not used as often. It's not quite common. However, in these 4 examples, I think I've tackled the 4 most common translations of the word need in Dutch. Alright, so this was the grammar lesson for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it made your life easier. I hope it improved your Dutch grammar. I want to thank you again for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content. Remember to give a like if you like this content, and let me know in the comments if this was useful for you or not. If you want to support the channel and you want to buy me a coffee, go to the description box, click on the link, and I would greatly appreciate it. I want to thank you again for watching, and stay tuned for another episode of Dutch Round 1. Ciao.